US President Donald Trump has announced that pharmaceutical imports would face a 100% tariff unless the companies behind them were actively building plants on American soil, escalating his push for tougher trade measures. The proposed tax, set to begin on October 1st, also extends to other goods, 50% on imported kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities, 20% on upholstered furniture and 25% on heavy trucks. Trump said on Truth Social that these actions were necessary, at times citing quote-unquote national security and other reasons. Let's speak about the implications of this though. My colleague Varghese is joining us live on the broadcast. Varghese, when you know there is a strong dissent with regards to the healthcare services being provided to the normal people of the United States under Trump's administration, he goes on to put 100% tariffs on those pharmaceutical drugs which are not being imported on American soil. That is certainly going to make the medicines, the general one, the basic ones for, basic requirements of people very, very costly on their pockets.
Well, it is going to be quite costly, and interestingly enough, this is what Trump's conditioned to say, that there will be no tariff if they go ahead and have plants within the US producing these medicines. And that is what he's trying to do, he's trying to ensure that these exports are reduced, or you get those companies to build those plants in the United States and carry on with their business. Now, interestingly enough, for us in India, this is another big sector after the IT sector when it comes to exports to the United States. At least 47% of United States generic drugs demand is met by Indian companies, and Indian companies have had it good because most of these generic compounds were good in quality and at the same time were low cost and also preferred within the US Drug Administration, the market as well. Now, another thing that is going to hit us is that this particular trade that has been going on when it comes to pharmaceutical companies was over $3 billion in 2024. Now, the half of 2025 itself, we have crossed that $3 billion, and therefore it was on a huge growth spurt. And by June itself, we've already exported around 3 billion and over that by now. And therefore, we are looking at probably around 4.5 billion to 5 billion is what we are expecting the trade to be by the end of this year. Now, having that in mind, and then suddenly you have this 100% taxation. Now, there's interesting thing that he's put out over there is saying that it could be on branded products. But how do you define the brand is again completely an uncertainty. Whether it does apply to generics also is another uncertainty that has been put in place. So there's no clarity in this. Now, after the H-1B visa fiasco that we have seen that will affect America in the long term, this is the other part of it that is going to in fact affect their health sector and as well as disrupt our supplies to the United States. So clearly at the moment, this is only going to in fact hit us when it comes to the exports on a temporary basis, but India has the ability to see the rest of the world's markets as well. And therefore, our generics do, in fact, go well in South America, in Africa as well. But at the same time, US being a very important system, that vacuum that is going to, in fact, be created because of them going ahead with this or probably not having this clarity on it, well, that is something that we'll have to wait and watch.
All right.
If you look at the kind of tariff that has been imposed on certain products, especially in the recent few months, it looks like United States has gone on some of the heavily dependent companies that, or rather sectors as such, Sakshi.